Hello party people, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm making another Trade Me advice video on buying and selling. I did one about 3 years ago, but yeah, I thought I'd make a new updated one of all the new knowledge that I've gained over the past 3-ish years. So yeah, let's jump into it. So starting off with buying tips. The first thing is make sure that you look at the payment options and you take note. Something that annoys me because I literally getting paid in cash. I just don't like dealing with it. I just prefer to get paid online. So yeah, if there's a seller and they say they want to be paid on online banking, don't try to pay in cash. Next is some other things that I've bought. I've bought technology, so I've bought my phone on Trade Me. I tried to stay away from kind of refurbished technology, especially iPhones, because they just tend to go downhill after like 1 year of use. Also, I like buying shoes and jeans as well. And also with buying, make sure that you let your buyer know once you've paid for something, and you can send them screenshots or emails and things like that, just to speed up the trade process. And also, I also like buying snow gear, so I've bought like snow jackets, snow pants and things like that, because they're really expensive. And like for example, a lot of the time people will buy them for their kids and they'll just grow out of them like in 1 year. And yeah, you know, snow gear, you only really use it for like a few months every year. So also with clothing as well, make sure that you ask about their fibers. Natural fibers are always better, just in terms of, you know, for the environment, in terms of lasting a long time. And yeah, also clarifying sizes. So if something says it's a size 10, just make sure it's not a kid size 10, because I bought something I thought was like a, you know, large, but it was a kid's large, so it wasn't actually that big. So yeah, anyways, also don't be afraid to search in other sections. It's kind of like when you go thrift shopping, but for example, I look in the men's section, I look in the kids section, you know, like there's different other sections. Also look at the feedback ratings for the sellers. So if someone like has a really good deal but then all their feedback is really bad, you know, it's probably too good to be true. And also make sure that you ask about holes and stains, because I've bought jumpers where there's literally been a huge hole and like the seller, they never said anything about it. And you know, I'm just here like assuming that everybody's gonna be nice and like, you know, disclose if your jumper has a massive hole in it, but some people don't. So yeah, make sure that when you're buying stuff, especially like jumpers, things like that, long sleeves, you know, make sure that there's no holes, there's no stains. Just ask about that before you buy something. Okay, now moving on to selling. Excuse me. I said this last time, but yeah, try to have good photos. It's important to have photos from different angles as well. And if you're selling things like clothing or shoes, try to have photos where they're worn on the person, or like, yeah, I mean, just because sometimes when you have like, you know, a shirt just on your bed, it's not gonna look as good if there's someone wearing it. So yeah, there's that. Also make your postage costs clear, so people like know how much it's gonna cost them, because I know that I always ask how much postage is gonna be. So yeah, just to you know, save people's time and asking you how much it's gonna cost to post, just make your postage cost clear beforehand. Another thing, when you're listing your items, is try to list your items in season. So for example, if you're selling snow gear, try to list it just before winter starts, because that's when everyone's going to be wanting it. So there's going to be higher demand, so it's going to drive like the price up. And also the same for summer. If you're selling, you know, t-shirts, whatever things you need for summer, try and do it like just before the summer. Another thing is you can optimize the time of your closing, so you can choose what time you want your auctions to finish. And I think the best time is around 8 to 10 p.m. on Sunday. So yeah, you should list your items on Sunday nights, apparently. Also, make sure you do your market research, so you don't list things too high or too low. And yeah, so it's pretty easy. Just go on Trade Me and search what you want to sell, and just so you have an idea of like what the price is going to be and what you should list the prices as. Another huge thing is make sure that you book your courier through Trade Me. I never used to do this. I don't know why. I think I was just scared and I didn't know how to package things. But honestly, it's really simple. Just find any plastic bag and just tape it, and then you just write the order number and just book the courier, because it's so much easier. They come to your house and they pick it up from your house, and then they deliver it. So it saves you so much time. You don't have to go to the post office. If you're busy, you can just leave it in the mailbox and then just tell the courier that, you know, I've left the package in the mailbox, and they can just pick it up from your house. Another thing when you're selling makeup, if you do want to sell makeup, is make sure that you include swatches and you include photos, and don't sell makeup that's, you know, gone, like, it's expired. Like, just don't do it. Another thing is make sure that your information is quite descriptive. So it's always better to overshare than undershare, I feel like. Just because, you know, you want to be honest, you want to be fair to the buyers, and chances are if you don't like describe something very well, people are going to ask you questions anyway, so you have to do it anyway. Another thing is make sure that your payment details are automatically being sent. So once an auction finishes, the buyer is just going to receive the payment instructions straight away, so you don't have to worry about sending another email, sending them your bank account, etc, etc. Also, another thing is don't wait too long to open disputes if you're in an auction and something's gone wrong. So for example, when I'm selling things, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. But if someone hasn't replied to me in 2 weeks after I've sent 3 backup emails, you know, like, I'm just gonna cancel the auction. Like, it's just not worth your time. So yeah, just open the dispute on Facebook, and then you can get your success fees back. Also, another thing is to don't forget to relist items if they don't sell the first time, because sometimes, you know, it could be a bad week, and if you resell it again, it's gonna sell. And also, you can put things at $1 reserve if you want to sell it really fast. And yeah, I try not to do that with things that are expensive, because I'm just like scared that I'm not going to get as much money as what they're worth. But yeah, if something that, you know, I really want to get rid of, I don't want to, I'm just going to put $1 reserve. And last thing is quite recent, but I've noticed that trademe has started to have like days where there's no success fee. So like, I get an email, for example, on certain days, and they say that if you list an item, like, you know, this weekend, there'll be no success fees. So that's really really good thing to keep an eye out for. So especially if you're selling something that's really expensive, because I think the success fees are like 7 or 8%. So if you're selling something, you know, like $100, you could save $8. So yeah, that does kind of add up if you think about it. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Happy trading.